Holocaust survivors are put in the spotlight during these days of official remembrance, but for the rest of the year, many suffer from loneliness and isolation. Adopt A Safta is a nonprofit initiative that pairs young Israelis with survivors of the Shoah here at home. We hear more from the founder of the program, Shultz.
It's really a grassroots leadership organization of young Olim in Israel stepping up to take care of lonely Holocaust survivors, very much on a big brother, big sister model. You know, every year during Yom HaShoah, the media, the news all over Israel talks about the problem, the plight of the Holocaust survivors in Israel. And every year it gets worse. It gets worse for many reasons. Obviously, it's an elderly population getting older. But of all the problems, the complaints of food and medicine and housing, etc., still the number one complaint, simple loneliness.
Jay, how do you find these Holocaust survivors? Is there some sort of pool that you have this information from?
It's not easy. In the country, there's about 20 different organizations that take care of, have some piece of helping the Holocaust survivor in general. So we work with everyone. We really try to partner with as many people as possible, as many organizations, municipalities, social service organizations, to target the survivors, not just that are around, but the ones really in need of this light in their life.
What kind of training does a volunteer have to go through?
It's definitely a very serious process. There's an application process, there's a training process, they go through actual social service volunteering training, and then they commit to at least a year, to once a week, visiting their grandmother or their grandfather. By the way, even though the organization is Adopt A Safta, we work with the Sabas as well, and they take it very seriously.
There are reports about the poverty among Holocaust survivors and the needs they have. Is this a failure of the state of Israel?
It's a failure of the Jewish people. Everyone's lonely. I think loneliness is one of the biggest diseases the world has today in general. But, so many survivors, more than the rest of their peers of their generation, don't have family or have estrangements in family and certainly have psychological issues that often only later in life really come to bear. And so it definitely needs extra attention, and I think it's all of our responsibility, and not just the government's, all of our responsibility to step up to take action.
Can you share with us some of the stories perhaps you've learned from this?
Most young Olim come here lonely. They come here without friends and family like I did. And the survivor, the adopted grandparent, is amazing for the grandparent, but I can promise you it does a lot more for the individual, for myself.
How does somebody get involved?
Yeah, you can come to adoptasafta.com, register to send us your details. We'll get you trained up, and we'll find you a survivor. And one of our goals now is we've been very active in Tel Aviv and Yerushalayim, but our main focus for the coming year is expanding throughout the country. The periphery of Israel has a tremendous percentage of survivors. Haifa, Beersheba, and that's going to be our new focus.
Ironically, during